If you've ever tasted a homegrown tomato or an organic egg, you probably know how good food can taste. You also understand why Eugene locals Bill Bezick, Claire Teasdale, and Marvin King are spending their time raising and growing their own food. Molly Reel caught up with these three to see what their life of an urban farmer is like.
Oh boy.
There's a pretty obvious trend occurring, not just in the city, but around the country, a move to have people become more connected to their food source.
I think people are realizing that the typical American diet is not how we're supposed to be eating. It's not what's healthy for our bodies. It's not what we crave.
Our life has gotten to the point where that's what we look at is, well, I can just grab and run or whatever. An egg's an egg. Well, it's not.
Bill Bezick, Claire Teasdale, and Marvin King are three of Eugene's urban farmers. That means that they raise and grow much of their own food.
I was an avid gardener from a very young age, so I was taught very much how to be able to produce my own food, and it's been almost a therapy for me. That's my refuge in my backyard. I think I've had a garden in every house I've ever lived in.
Bezick recently opened Eugene Backyard Farmer, where he sells just about everything an urban farmer could need.
I know of a lot of people who have chickens or who want to have chickens, and it's important that they get the advice they need to be able to be good, competent urban farmers.
Teasdale is a senior at the University of Oregon. When she's not doing schoolwork, you'll probably find her in her garden.
It just turned into something that I really like to do. Just kind of, for me, it's so much easier than going to the store. And
she does everything from raising chickens, growing fruits, veggies, and hops, even beekeeping.
And they'll pollinate everything. Even though we might not get honey from them, they'll still be hitting up all the blossoms too. It's cool to be able to give people, you know, food gifts and stuff, but it's even cooler to say, I harvested this morning. You know, I kept a few for myself, and I have all these extras, like, here, don't you want them?
King has been raising chickens and ducks in his backyard for years, and he has more than 100 feathery friends. He believes that a natural raised egg is the only kind suitable for eating.
Well, I'm kind of an old fart, but that's the way I was raised, and it's just the way to do it.
And he sells his eggs right on his front porch in Alvador.
Well, we have a refrigerator on our front porch. We keep it full of eggs of all the different sizes that we have. And it's an honor system. The people just come and take the eggs and leave the money in a Cool Whip container and go on about their way. It's just a good neighborly way to do things, and you never get taken advantage of. I mean, there's times there might be $20, $30 in that cup because we're gone. And I don't worry about it because people are honest.
Bezick, Teasdale, and King say that raising chickens is much easier than it may appear.
I go into the chicken coop every morning. I put in a handful of feed and I clean their water, and essentially that's all I do. Around noon or so I go out and I collect a wonderful egg, one of the best eggs I've ever tasted, and it's good for me. It contributes to a very healthy lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle that I think has long-term benefits in terms of medical costs and just quality of life.
They're happy chickens. And they're funny.
It's also a guilt-free way for them to eat.
You go to a large grocery store and you can get a dozen eggs for $1, but you have to understand that these chickens are raised in an entirely different environment, an environment that does not produce a very tasty egg, as well as an ethical issue. These chickens are treated very, very poorly, and they never see the light of day in many cases. They're packed together, they're filled up with antibiotics and chemicals and hormones, and the end result, aside from being a very cheap egg, is not necessarily an egg that's good for you.
Well, it's not natural. I don't believe in treating animals that way, for one thing. It's just like all things have become so industrialized, the beef, the hog raising and the chicken raising, that the people are eating stuff that they shouldn't be eating.
And they all agree that the final product is well worth the effort.
I I really like their eggs.
They're incredible. Once you eat a homegrown chicken or egg, you'll never go back. Thick shells, beautiful, vibrant color, wonderful taste. And again, you've controlled what the bird is eating, so you know the quality of food.
Natural raised chicken egg has a lot less cholesterol in it and fat than store-bought egg. A chicken out here exercising isn't a fat chicken. You know, it's fit and nice, and you take one that's in a cage, they either get too fat or they limit the amount of feed they get. For your health's sake, I think we better wake up and start looking at what we eat.
I'm Molly Reel, reporting for Oregon Extra.
If you are interested in becoming an urban farmer, go to the Oregon Extension Service website.